You're welcome back from that break. Right now, let's dive into the conversation. And there is around questions, a lot of questions around this development. Is this worth celebrating? What's the difference between 990 naira and 970 naira? Well, we get into that discussion, and with me in the studio is Dr. Obayomi Olukayode, who is a who is a political science and international relations expert. He joins me live in the studio. He's glad to have you join me this evening. Good evening.
Thank you very much, President.
Well, you know, like I already asked before the program, I said, is this the light at the end of the tunnel of this long Jonah tunnel? Is this the light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah.
Because waking up to these news, we don't even know. Some say, it's a good news. Why some are saying, well, what's the difference? So, is it a good news, or is it still is the normal thing we've been used to?
Yeah, thank you very much. It may look negligible, but as far as I'm concerned, gradually we'll get there, because it looks like a very minimal decrease in price. But this has shown that if things are properly done in this country, we can make life very comfortable and very bearable for the citizens. Because you say a journey of 100 miles starts with a step. At least Dangote has brought joy to the life of the people with this 20 naira difference. It makes a lot. Difference.
That is this is 20 naira difference you're talking about here. It was initially 990 naira and now 970 naira. So what difference does it make, really?
It makes a lot of impact on the life of the people. Nigerians are really suffering a lot. That even if you give them 5 naira difference on anything, whether electricity bill or whatever you're talking about, is going to make a lot of impact, because the multiplier effect of this on their personal life, on the GDP and the economy as a whole. We are a lot of the Nigerians, like according to the president, I had him talking somewhere yesterday, he was saying we are about 250 million. It has a lot of impact. They say a little drops makes an ocean. So we are starting from somewhere. I'm really happy that at least we have started hearing good news. Not like in those days they will say it's moving from 979, it's going to maybe 1,000. Now we are getting down, and it's really going to make a lot of impact on the life of the people. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a good way, it's a welcome development, it's a very positive one, and we pray that Dangote will continue to do this for the people, so that Nigerians will have relief at the end of the day.
You know, when you said a drop of water makes an ocean, so I want to understand clearly: is this hopeful that or perhaps just perhaps that there is another chances of maybe we might wake up tomorrow and say, okay, it has gone from 970 naira to 900 naira. Like, is this something to be hopeful of? Because a lot of people say, a lot of Nigerians have reacted to this development to say, well, it doesn't make any difference, because though as at before, when it was 990 naira, you get 10,000 for 9 liters, but as a 8 liters rather, but for today you can get with 10,000 naira, you can get 9 liters. So it's just 1 liter difference. So, but then you're saying a drop of water makes an ocean. So are we going to wake up tomorrow and hear that it has dropped from 970 to maybe 950 and gradually go beyond this or below this?
Ideally, the local price system should be a kind of reaction from what is happening on the international oil markets, because when prices reduce on the international market, our own does not, it even gets worse. So now that it's going down, we will not expect it to continue to go down. It will all depend on what happens on the international oil market. Normally, if the prices of crude goes up, they're supposed to go up locally. But now that it's coming down, and the Nigerian price is also coming down, I think it's a normal development, and we should not just think it will come to 700 one day. But as we continue to pray,
shouldn't you rather come to 700? Because we knew how much fuel was before this administration came on board. So.
You know, they said they have deregulated it. If they have deregulated, that means it has to work in tandem with what is happening on the international market, the oil market. It has to work directly based on that. So definitely, if we are expecting to come down, if the prices of oil comes down on international market, it ought to be coming down on the local market. But at the end of the day, in the Nigerian system, it doesn't happen that way. But as we are now, we are praying that it will come down. But it will depend on what happens on the international oil market.
Okay, all right, viewers, at this point our phone lines are now open for you to call in to join the conversation or ask a question. But looking at the loggerhead, which includes issues around importation, or was it importation, issues around production capacity, you know, production output, quality of the products, and then now we woke up to this at this the end of it all, we are seeing some we are seeing like there is some this kind of some Dangote is beginning to compromise. What do you think is behind this change?
No, I don't believe that Dangote is really compromising about anything. It's just I think God is beginning to extricate us from the stranglehold of this cabal in the oil sector. Because, you know, even while all these things were going on, while prices were increasing, some people insisted that they wanted to be bringing it, importing oil. The man was saying he was giving to them at a particular price. They were denying that he was giving to them at a particular price. But I think maybe God has really touched their heart, that they are now allowing the man to do what he ought to do. And I think because they have allowed some breeding spaces, that's why we are witnessing this thing. If not, this cabal were insisting that they wanted to be bringing in this fuel at a very high cost, condemning Dangote's oil that it was of low quality, whereas they were just trying to demarket demand. But I think God has really taken control, and we hope God will continue to take control and help Nigerians out of the stranglehold of this cabal that is holding us to ransom in this country.
The fact the word cabal holding us to ransom, but well, it's but the thing is, as of today, the Minister of Finance Wale Edu told us that the federal government has saved $20 billion. I think, is it $20 million? $20 billion from fuel subsidy removal. But the question is, we aren't seeing the impact of where this money is going to. It's not reflecting on any sector of the economy, not the education, not healthcare, not electricity. Businesses are going down. So I want to get what your reaction is on that development, because still there are still questions around Nigerians still paying subsidy. Why there are other federal government are saying they're no longer paying subsidy. Some group of people or persons are saying that the federal government is back to paying subsidy. So I don't know, what did you make out of all of these?
I don't think they are paying any subsidy. Before now they were doing it under the counter, but I don't think they are paying. We are buying at the appropriate prices now.
Okay, so
but,
then
the savings they said they had, the minister talking about it yesterday, that they made $20 billion savings out of this subsidy removal, which is good. But where are they investing the money? But I think what they are doing, they should have to re-strategize and rethink about really plowing this humongous amount that has been recouped from the removal of fuel into the economy. I think they are just giving this money to the governors, increasing their FAC allocation every month, and some of these people are just taking the thing to the bureau to take it and go transfer it abroad, which is really unfortunate. So the state governments, the subnationals, should allow Nigerians to feel the impact of this humongous amount of money that is being given to them from FAC allocation. Not that they should aggrandizing it for their own personal interest. It's not good. They should, the governors, the local government chairman who are being given opportunity to get more resources now, should invest this thing in infrastructure, in education, in health services, and every other thing, so that Nigerians can have some relief. It's really very tough for the people, and I hope our leaders will allow this. So the federal government should monitor, the FCC and ICBC should also monitor the rate. Thank God that the legality of ICBC and the FCC has now been confirmed by the Supreme Court. They should go after these people. It's high time we stop this maltreatment of the people and just spending state resources any way we like. So now that they are being given more allocation, states should perform more. Local government chairmen should perform more. Local allocation at that level will definitely increase. And federal government should also retain part of this excess money that's been made from removal of oil subsidy and invest it in other things directly. That they have the chance, the legal, the constitutional right to participate in such a area of the economy. So we should monitor the spending of this money. The money is coming in now. The people should feel the impact, not just giving it to people who go and change it and try and fritter it away in any way they like. We should start monitoring these people.
Okay, but when you say the money is coming in now, we that is what the federal government is telling us, and we are holding on to what they're telling us, because they say seeing is believing. We are not even seeing it, we are not even feeling it. So we are holding on to what the federal government has told us, that they've saved about $20 billion from fuel subsidy removal, and that's what we are believing. But then you talked about I think you mentioned allocations being sent to state and the rest of it. We also woke up this morning to hear the Nigerian Labour Congress saying that they will go after states. I think about four states
yes.
So that has refused to implement the local government autonomy, or that has refused paying the minimum wage. And the question is, I had a caller who called this morning and said we must not throw blame at the president at all times. The people, the team which the president is working with, he has given an instruction, he has made a law, it's been implemented. But what do you think is the reason behind some states' refusal to pay?
As far as I'm concerned, what's the value of this money we are even asking them to pay? The 70,000 minimum wage has lost its value. I don't know why we human beings behave this way. It bothers me at times that are these people really human beings? You know, the 70,000 minimum wage cannot even make any meaningful impact in the life of the average worker, Nigerian worker. Now you are not paying them, complaining. You have gotten more money from the federal government through monthly allocation. They are not plowing it back. They will be doing projects that are not useful to the daily living of the people. They should give the welfare of the people paramount concern, paramount position in their scale of preference. The money has lost value. The 70,000 has lost value, and you are not even paying it. So the NSC or whoever is there to go after them should go after them, because Nigerians, if you don't do it that way, they will not understand. They should go after them. Why 4 out of 37? Because FCT is involved. Why 4? So these are the Judases among the 12 disciples, and they should be taught the rightful lesson in their life. So they should go there and picket them.
And what do you think should be done to them?
They should picket them, hold everything to ransom in that state. And there is no Nigerians at times when you don't go this way, they don't understand, because they don't have any reason. Because you know this particular amount of money cannot do anything meaningful in the life of the people. You still hold on to that money, and you say you are there for the interest of the people. God is seeing us, and I hope God will touch the heart of some of these people. I don't really know what their problem is, but they are getting more money. So there is no reason. Welfare of the workers is part of governance. If you are building structures, because they will inflate contracts. That's why they are always saying you want to build a legacy structure. You want to build this. A lie. Welfare of the people, the workers, is also part of the issue of governance. When the people are happy, what about when you are building structures? The people you are building it for, they are not happy. And the civil servants are also part of the people that voted for you. So they should consider them in whatever they are doing. Don't say you want to build a legacy structure, you want to do this, you want to do that at the expense of the welfare. Who are the people that will enjoy these structures, this infrastructure? It is the people, and the civil servants are also the people, part of the people. So they should give credence to the welfare of the people, the welfare of the civil servant, so that at the end of the day, people will be happy with them. This is my lesson, this is my advice to them, and I hope it will enter their whatever. So
it will enter their
because one is just frustrated kind of.
Well. So are you in support? Are you in support of the decision of made by NLC to embark on another strike by December 1st? In
the first states that are concerned, yeah, it's good. They've been appealing to them. They've been sending emissaries to them. They've been talking to them, but they are not listening. Maybe when you do that, they will start paying. You know, Nigerian government at times, it is when you start picketing them, you start doing sit at work or whatever they call it, all this labor approved action to tell the employer that you are not really happy, that they will start listening. I don't know why people will hear this. You 4, including FCT, I think, out of 36, somebody should feel odd. If I'm part of them, if I'm the governor of one of these, I will feel odd and I will feel very bad. Why me in this kind of situation? Out of 37 entities, only 4 of us. They should be ashamed. Those who are concerned, whatever they are what's this is money of the people. Spend these people. Let's spend this money for the people. Let somebody come and arrest you after leaving office that you pay civil servant their money, and because of that you are a sinner. Nobody will do that. but they will tell you they want to do a legacy project. They want to do. They want to people. What are they doing? What you have to do should be on the heart of the people. Do what the people will remember you for. Those structures will not remember you. They would get duplicates and they will get a cake one day. But what you do that is on the mind of the people will be there forever, because they will tell their children that when this man was governor, he did this to us. We are talking about the doji of those days. We are talking about government of Murtala Mohammed, because they did well. Where are all the structures that during the short time Murtala Mohammed was? Nobody will remember again. But those people on whom they impacted positively, you continue to talk about them, that this man did well. So they should learn from that and leave legacy structures alone and impact on the welfare of the people. Nigerians are suffering, and we need a lot of relief in this kind of very harsh and very unbearable situation.
All right. Should the NLC embark on this strike, what do you think? What effect do you think it will have on the economy?
It will definitely have negative effect on the economy of those states, because the productivity will come to a standstill. Whatever you are talking, even the private companies will not be able to work because they may block roads. So it's not always good. Don't let us be dragging our workforce to the extent that they will be taking stands that will affect the continuous operation of the daily operations of the state. We should not allow it to get to this at all times. When people talk, and you know they are talking about things that are real, attend to their needs. It's not a thing of pride, or I'm a big man, or I'm very powerful, to continue to disagree with what you know is right. The people need money. You take care of yourself in government houses. Everything is available for you, but the people are suffering and they are hungry. They say big power everywhere. That is the slogan now. So people should be ashamed. If I were to be one of these people, I would be ashamed with what is going on in this country, because everywhere there is complaint, and these complaints are very genuine. People are really suffering. So why not just think more for once and say, let me impact positively on these people? Christmas is coming now. The end of the year is coming. Nobody is thinking of celebrating anything. The country was not like this before. When all these people who are in the position of leadership, they were young. We were all enjoying. We knew there was festivity in town. We knew the ambience and the environment will change. You start seeing decorations everywhere on the 1st of December. But you people came to power and you have destroyed all these things, all this culture that make people happy. People should be ashamed, as far as I'm concerned. If I'm really in government or actively involved in politics or political office, I'll be ashamed of myself that I've really come to spoil the world for these people, for Nigerians. People should have a rethink. Things were not like this when we were small. During festivity, you are sure of eating better food. You are celebrating with people, but nothing happens these days. At times, I used to get worried. What is really happening?
Someone said this festive period, we can't see people being able to afford chicken and rice to celebrate the festive period.
It's not possible. If you're buying chicken for 20,000, how many people have 20,000 to buy chicken? Bag of rice, you know how much we buy them, and people are not worried. Personally, at my age, I get worried. That was happening when we were young. Things were not like this. Why is it our generation that has really turned everything to this ugly level? It's really embarrassing. And some of us should bury our heads in shame. Those of us on this particular level. I don't know.
I heard you talk about taking legal action on some of the state governors who has refused to pay this minimum wage. But the thing is, what difference will it make? Do you think the NLC actually has the capacity to do that? Suing the state government or taking the state governments to court for not abiding to the law of minimum wage? Do you see that? Will it yield a positive impact? At
times, all these peaceful engagements also work. Apart from strike, apart from picketing companies or picketing government establishments, some of these peaceful means works. They work. We should start building confidence in our judiciary. We hear that there are a lot of problems, all these under-counter dealings, but there are still some of these judges that are very upright. So if you take cases to them, you may get some reprieve or some kind of solution to some of these problems. So while we are using forceful approaches or confrontational means, we should also use a very peaceful means, peaceful engagement, like the legal engagement, judicial engagement, for them to interpret that if there's a law that says this, why are you disobeying? So some of these things, if you bring all of them together, they may make some impact and we'll start getting results. But it's better than just to sit down and think that these people will do the right thing. They won't. So start engaging them peacefully. Start engaging I believe in non-violent engagement. of government establishment, and by the time you start doing that, they will know there's something happening, and I'm sure they can also turn a new leaf and do what is good for the people.
Okay, why we don't seem to know the reason behind the refusal of some of the states to pay this minimum wage? Do you think Mr. President should get involved in this case? Because like you rightly said, the economy is not smiling, the economy is hard, things are tough. Even the 70,000 naira minimum wage can barely do nothing. But they say half bread is better than none. But then, do you think do you think Mr. President should step at least, into this matter?
Yeah, officially he can step in. Unofficially, he should also have meetings with some of these governors. They are very few, just 3 and the FCT, according to reports. They should have positive engagement. Ask them why they are not. We are all part of this negotiation, and this thing has been legislated into a law, binding on anybody. Apart from doing other things, the president should also have positive engagement with some of these chief executive of our subnational, asking them why this thing will really help the image of the government, and maybe some of the governors that are even involved are of his own party. So you can have some kind of influence. Let the chairman of their party also talk to them. They let the president also talk to them, so that they will have to strategize and maybe pull money from different places and just pay the people. But
then would that solve the case rather? Because I don't know why one should, you know what is right, you are expected to do what is right. So why should someone wait? So it's kind of a little bit complicated. Like, should the president step in, will he resolve the issue?
He could. Because some of them, they want to be, some of them are even thinking of having a second term, or they are aspiring to have appointments after their second term. So if the man talks to them, they are of the same party, and if they are not even of the same party, after election, they are all part of our governance system. So you can talk to them. They have the NEC, and they have other places where they meet, other fora where they meet. So you can talk to them, engage them, and let them see the reason why they must do this, in order to even give the government a very good image, because the image of this government in terms of welfare is nosediving every day. It's nosediving every day, and people should be worried that what can we do to make people happy? Look at this Dangote thing. I was really happy, even if it's 1 naira. At least we are hearing good story now, not the other side, that when you're expecting a good story, you will hear the other side, and you say, when are we going to start hearing good story in this Nigeria? But at least we are starting from somewhere. And
but I don't see a lot of Nigerians being excited even over the news of 990 to 970, because it's a lot of people, it doesn't make any impact. So does it make any sense that okay, it happened, but Nigerians are not even excited about it, because to a lot of people it doesn't make any difference?
We should be, see, when there's good thing, let us talk about it.
Yeah,
I don't believe in just say condemning all the time. It's not a good way of analyzing issues.
No, we really are. But the thing is, Nigerians are not excited, because to a lot of people are not excited about it, because to a lot of people it doesn't make any difference. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, if they are not excited about that, let me also wish them that maybe tomorrow to go to the 1,500, so that you know that this 220 naira has meaning. It has a lot of meaning, I'm telling you. And we should also be very objective when we are talking about government, and when we see something that is welcoming and very sweet to hear, we should say it. It's a good beginning. It may be negligible, but it may lead us to better. At least Dangote, I'm sure, is also worried that why is it that these God-given resources that we have in abundance,
exactly, and we have to suffer so much. So
I'm sure some good right thinking Nigerians, they are bothered, and I'm sure if they are given the opportunity to impact on the people's life, and it will happen. We can't be having it negative all the time. No, I'm delighted. I'm really happy about this, because this is one of the positive things I've had of recent, and I'm happy to hear a good thing in my hearing. It's not, you should not be negative all the time.
All the time.
So we should thank them. We thank Dangote. We thank those who made it possible. Me, I'm thanking them on behalf of Nigerians.
Please thank them on behalf of
them. Yes.
Well, it's quite applaudable. Like you rightly said, a drop of water makes an ocean. We are hopeful that we might wake up tomorrow and say, okay, it has gone from 970 to 950, from 950 to 900, and before you know, it stabilizes to.
Yes, that's what the open market system of economy is supposed to do. That when the market forces is allowed to operate freely. Though you don't allow it to in most countries that even operate this free market economy. You don't just leave it like that in everything. But this particular one that we have decided to free it up from government control, from government intervention, it could be very positive at times. But except that it will go down, it will go up depending on other factors.
Exactly. But
now that it's going down, we give kudos to them. They have tried, as far as I'm concerned.
But then, don't you think this issue of fuel can, we can get over it if our refineries can work? Because as of 2 months ago, the federal government told us that of Port Harcourt refinery is almost going to kill. At the time, they tell us 2 weeks. From 2 weeks, we had 1 month. From 1 month, we had 1 week. And from 1 week, we hear nothing today. So I want to understand, what do you think are the issues around why our refineries cannot work and are not working?
Yeah, I was listening to somebody sometimes 2 days ago about talking about this our refineries. The conclusion I drew from that analysis was that some Nigerians have deliberately killed this refinery. I felt so bad, but I was thinking that with all these our recommendations, our analysis, that maybe government will one day go to these refineries and revive them so that they can start producing and start supporting Dangote.
But then, if you look at it, that's our major source of revenue. Revenue, but there are a lot of questions around why the federal government cannot really put in so much work to allow it to work. So, are you one of those people who believe that some of the elites and some government officials are kind of a carcos, a big cabal thing around it, and why it shouldn't, or why it cannot work?
Yes, it cannot work because of the man said corruption, and I believe it's corruption. It's just a league, a group of people, very small, negligible, wicked, vicious human beings. They are the ones causing this problem because they want to be importing. Maybe now that Dangote has broken that jinx of their quest to want to continue importing, maybe they will give up on this refineries. The man said they purposely killed this refinery so that they won't work, and they will start importing. Now that importation is kind of failing, I hope they will leave these refineries off the hook. So the man was talking, and I said, does it mean that we cannot get this thing right? What are the things needed to revive? All these parts are all over. And if they are decrepit parts that cannot be, they're obsolete, they should look for modern ones and replace them. But the way the man spoke, I was really scared. It's like, due to corruption and people who are not ready to give up, they have wrecked and they have really destabilized and distorted and disarticulated the whole system of those refineries. That he even said one thing. He made one comment that if any spiritual being comes, that they cannot revive that place. Not to talk of ordinary human beings. So I was shocked and I was really worried that what's happening. And I know what Nigerians can do when they want to destroy.
And some people are of the opinion that the federal government should privatize this refineries, since it's not looking like there's no green light of the federal government making it work. Why not privatize it? At least if an individual or some group of people can buy it off, it might work. Do you see any possibility around that suggestion? Yeah,
I support privatization because the way we are having it now, over the years, over 20 years, they have really run down this particular installations. So we are not getting anything with government control. So maybe we should start thinking of privatizing them.
If we privatize it, what happens to we don't seem to see price control functioning in Nigeria here. So what happens to the prices? Just like what happened recently, and NNPC people are telling us that NNPC has been privatized. Therefore, the federal government has less or none to say in that regard. So are you not worried that something might occur should it be privatized?
If they privatize, they will be going in tandem with this idea of deregulation. Because when you say you deregulate something, you align the market forces to operate freely. There's not supposed to be intervention, or if you are getting involved, government should not even get involved. But my problem with privatization is that these people will go and sell it to themselves or indirectly to their cronies, and we still get back to the same system. They may not be able to run it, and even if they are able to run it, my own suggestion is that since Dangote has tried, and we see that I can do it, they should sell it to the man. Sell it to the man and let the man continue. Somebody will talk about people, and people will be talking about monopoly. If monopoly would make life more comfortable, people are not against it.
All right, Doctor.
At least he has done well with his own. Let us see what he can do with all these ones that cannot work for decades.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Oh, good evening. Good evening.
Thank you, man.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yes, I'm calling from Cross River State.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yes, I'm Fidelis. I'm calling from Cross River State.
Okay, please go ahead with your thoughts.
I like your opinion. The opinion people are sharing now.
Okay.
Usually, I'm just joining you now.
All right.
I overheard how some state governors are not making plans to pay the new minimum wage. I think the president should call them to his office.
Okay.
I'm sure they're very well. They are trying to be the president. They are not having the plight of the masses in their heart. It's not a very good development.
Okay.
The 70,000 or 73 or 80 that some governors have attempted to fix, it's not even enough, like I heard you say.
Yes.
Because of the current and present current reality on ground. So I would like to present that the president should leave a good print on stand of time. Should leave a legacy that his name will be in the Guinness Book of Records. So I would like to.
All right.
That's my take on that.
Thank you very much for your contribution, and have yourself a great evening.
All right.
Our caller said that Mr. President should intervene so his name can be on the Guinness Book of Record.
Yes.
Doctor, please, you were saying something before that call came in. I don't know.
Yeah, I was talking about privatizing this place. I said you give it to somebody who has been tested in that area.
But don't forget that it shouldn't be privatized. Every businessman wants to make a profit, and we remember before now, I think Nigerians are beginning to adjust to the reality, the current reality. When the first time that the NNPC hiked the price of fuel, it was and there were a lot of questions. Is Mr. President not concerned? What is he doing? And then we now got to discover that it has been privatized. Even Mr. President has little or nothing to say over it. So now that you're saying, I think privatization should work. Should it be privatized? Every businessman wants to make profit. Don't you think that would be a little challenge on?
Is it privatization of NLPCL, which we assume now, is not yet a fully privatized company, because it's a set of people that were employed by government that are still running the place. So it's still like they were the former NNPC. And they are the people in charge of these refineries. So if you really want to privatize, you say you are running a deregulated oil sector. If you want to deregulate, let everything there be deregulated. Let all these things, you see, the Kyari is still being employed by government, whether we like it or not. He got there through during the Buhari administration. So what's the difference between the Kyari that is there now and the Kyari of the Buhari administration? It's still the same person. But now you say you have, so it's still the same orientation, the same mode of operation that they are still doing when they were in the former NNPC that is government owned. So if you are really talking about privatization, let us do it well. We can't be. So how well should we do it? How well are we going to do it? How well are we going to get it? Because I, as a business person, you as a business person, it doesn't matter what, even if you're God, no matter how righteous you are, every businessman wants to make profit. So I want to understand the point you're trying to make when you say how let it be oversee, or how does it work, or how do you think it will best work? Yeah, what I'm saying is that, you see, the set of people now, the man that I said was talking was recommending that you should sack all this the executive of NNPCL now. And that because they are the people who have been involved when these things were not working. So how do you are still using the same strategy, and you are the same set of people, and you are expecting a different result? It's not possible. So if you want to deregulate, to me, deregulate, don't be appropriating and reprobating. Government is saying they don't want to be involved in business. Government doesn't have business in business. They should do regulatory things, and when they do regulatory, they should regulate the whole sector. So, but when these people are still there, my sister, is still the same thing we'll be getting, and that's why we are like this. And I'm sure the president must have intervened that made them to leave Dangote alone. They didn't want Dangote to work because of their selfish and personal interests. All these people, they said they are regulating. The man is selling for them at this price. They didn't even allow him to say the price. I don't know why the man. That was the time they were talking about.
Yeah, but in business there is always room for competition. Then we are saying that importing from neighboring country, both the landing cost and the rest of it is almost like the same, or even below that of Dangote or something. I can't really remember, but there is always room. If you ask me, there is always room for competition when it comes to the business, or when it comes to market space.
But we cannot be importing when we have a growing local industry. Every government in the world protects their local industry for the economy to grow. You know, they were just trying to demarket Dangote that time, that his product was substandard, whereas it was the one they were bringing in that was of substandard.
Dangote on the other hand was saying that the imported one is the one that is substandard.
Yes, that is on the average. That was what we got.
Very dramatic. A whole lot of drama has gone.
Even if it's substandard, we should be proud to patronize. You see, all these countries that get developed, Malaysia, China, they were patronizing their local industry, and that's how the economy can grow. Even if they are substandard, now let us continue to patronize them until they get the standard right, and they'll be able to serve the country rather than going to patronize companies in other countries that make their own economy to be better than ours. So we should start from somewhere. They were just trying to demarket demand, trying to destroy the company, because the man has proven that we can produce oil locally. They could not ban it refineries for years. And somebody has built his own now, operating it. You are using all this the fake news, or what, I don't know what they call it, to demarket demand. It's really unfortunate, but thank God at least God is taking control, and I'm sure the president is intervening, because for what has happened, this 20 thing that people think is not good, to me it is highly significant, it is relevant, and I thank them for it, and I thank whoever is behind that reduction.
And you should please tell them to help us,
and to allow it to continue to reduce.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Lukayode, for being with me in the studio. It's been wonderful having you around. This is where we'll have to call it a wrap on today's show. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you for watching. Keep watching Kaftan Television. Oh, we have a caller here, but then let's hear what this caller have to say before we go. But unfortunately rather, we lost that caller. So thank you so much, and keep watching Kaftan Television. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Have yourself a great evening. Bye.
Amen.